When you place a loved one in the nursing home, you trust them to provide a safe environment. You certainly don't expect to find out that your mom has been sexually assaulted by an employee. Well, that is exactly what happened to two families I represented in Central Missouri. Hi, I'm David Terry with the Terry Law Firm. In this video, I'm going to share some of the disturbing facts that we uncovered in a case involving the sexual assault of two nursing home residents by an employee of the facility. But before I do that, let me first tell you a little bit about these two wonderful ladies who suffered through this tragedy. One was an avid Cardinals fan. She loved to watch her Redbirds on television. Every time I was with her, she had on her Cardinal Red. Her roommate was 95 years old and she was a bit more subdued, but she very much enjoyed when her family visited. Both of them had much to live for and both enjoyed life. This story begins when a man applies to work at this nursing home, and he provides information of previous employment at a different nursing home and gives permission for the nursing home to contact that prior employer. He also authorized a background check, which is supposed to be done before he ever has access to residents. Well, guess what? The nursing home never checked with his previous employer. And to make matters worse, they had him working with vulnerable residents in the nursing home before they even considered doing the required background check. Now, by the way, both of these two failures, not checking with the previous employer and not doing a background check, both were violations of their own rules. Had they called the other nursing home, they would have found out that he was fired for improper handling of their residents. But they didn't do that. Instead, they hired him and they put him on the schedule to start work that weekend. Then came the Friday afternoon phone call. Shortly after the employee was hired, the administrator at this nursing home received a call from a family member of the new employee. That family member told the administrator that the employee was a sexual abuser and that they should not have him around the residents. The administrator called a meeting with two of the other people on the administrative staff to discuss this. The person who is actually in charge of scheduling employees took him off the schedule for the weekend until they could investigate the allegations. That person then left on Friday and she wasn't scheduled to return work until Monday. After she left, inexplicably, the other administrative staff members put the guy back on the schedule. They told employees that he was going to be working with that they should stay with him during the shift, but they never told him why. They gave their employees no warning at all. They never stressed that they should really keep an eye on this guy. Well, the weekend shift came, and guess what? He was on schedule, and he didn't stay with the other employees. He slipped away, and no one bothered to look for him. Late at night, he entered the room of my clients and changed their lives forever when he sexually assaulted both of them. It's fair to say that the assault they suffered that night altered the rest of their lives. The 95-year-old lived for a year after she was assaulted. Virtually every day after this happened, she was afraid that the bad man was going to attack her again, and through tears, she would tell nursing home employees that she was going to hell because she was dirty. It's fair to say that she was in anguish for the rest of her life. The resident, who was in her 80s, had to relive the horror by testifying against this guy in a criminal hearing. My clients went to a local attorney who had heard me speak on nursing home cases at a legal conference, so he then called me to become involved in the case, and we worked on the case together. In our initial investigation, we discovered all the mistakes the nursing home made in hiring this guy to begin with. And as we took more depositions, we realized that that was just the tip of the iceberg. See, originally on Monday morning, my clients notified facility staff early in the morning about what had happened. But rather than call the police immediately, they began what they called an internal investigation. And during this internal investigation, my clients were both bathed, their bedclothes and their bed sheets were washed, and the room was thoroughly cleaned. Family members, after being put off so many times by the nursing home, finally called police on their own. This legal case lasted a fairly long time, and I took multiple depositions. The case eventually resulted in a financial settlement that remains confidential, but the damage done to the lives of these two vulnerable elderly ladies was irreversible. In this case, the victims of the sexual assault were actually able to speak out about what happened to them. But far too often, nursing home residents who are raped or sexually assaulted can't speak out about what has happened to them. If you have concerns that a family member at a nursing home has been sexually assaulted, go to our website at nursinghomejustice.com and read through the area on sexual assaults in nursing homes. There's information there that will assist you in what you should look for. If you have any questions, feel free to call us directly at 314-878-9797. Thank you very much.